kids for a women's college basketball game. What in the world?
All right, it is Friday, December 1st, 2017. We are on our way for a Friday night poker session at the good old Kansas Star, Mulvane, Kansas. Couple of things I want to have going on this month. A buddy of mine, another poker player, guy who plays for a living like myself, named Devin. We are doing an hours challenge, where whoever plays the most hours in the month of December, we will be going on the old double date with the ladies, and the loser pays the winner's half. But we gotta get to poker. It's about 8:40. We should be there just right around 9 o'clock. All right, well, we're here. It's about 10 till 9. Got accosted by security last time for filming into the casino, so I'm just not gonna take this thing in here with me. So we'll get in there, see what we can do. 5 tables tonight thus far, and I don't know how many on the waiting list. I don't know if they'll open up a 6-1-3 game, but there is, including me, when I called in, I guess there's 9 people on the list for 2-5. I don't know if we'll just jump right into that, because a lot of times it's a bunch of tryhards, and with the 1-3, the money itself is just better at 1-3. But if it's a good game, I'm gonna have to go a little bigger. Well, it is 3:12 a.m. Played till just about 3 o'clock. Played at 3 different tables. Started out playing 1-3, but started out playing 1-3. Played for about an hour and 10 minutes. Made a whopping grand total of $22. For some reason, they decided to start a 2-5 game tonight. It was a decent game when I first got there. There was one action player that had about 1,000. It's 1,000 max buy-in 2-5 game, and he bled it down. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get much of any of that. And then there was another guy. There was one other guy that was there, uber serious, like late 40s, early 50s type dude, who I've seen playing 1-3 multiple times, but he was hoodied out, man. He had his hood, I have a picture, he had his hood over his face, and he was playing a lot of pots, but then he packed up and left, so the game dried up pretty shortly afterwards. In that game for almost 3 hours, profited $98 in that one. Then I went back and played 1-3 for another hour and 15 minutes, and I was up 67 in that one, I believe. I think that means the grand total is $187 in about 5.5 hours of poker today. So 5.5 hours played in December. I'm coming for you, Devin. All right, heading into the old Walmart. Why am I heading into the old Walmart at about 3:30 in the morning, you might ask? And you might not be able to tell just by looking at me. But I do not exactly, at the moment, have a bikini body. I need to get my way down there, and I'm planning to kick that off with basically a challenge with myself for this month to, basically the deal is I'm gonna lose 10 pounds this month and then keep it rolling down to 195. Unless I become too emaciated, then I might keep it at like 215, 205. So time to get a scale here in Walmart. Yeah, here we go. Oh, why not? We're gonna get the bad boy. And how am I gonna get this done, you might ask? Well, I don't think I'll be doing any fad diets. Although I don't mind the keto diet. Shout out to my man Jim Grimes. Cake News on your side.
I'm just filming, making my eggs, making a little.
Do nothing else crazy. I'm just gonna get those macros calculated, count the calories, keep with my weightlifting program, which I've been decent about doing. Haven't done it in 3 weeks though, since the trip to Colorado. And ramp up a little extra cardio to get a little extra calorie burn. See how much I weigh when we get back home. The Taylor Deluxe of some sort. Body composition. Trust. I'm in my underpants, but I ain't gonna show you. Yeah. Saturday, December 2nd, 2017. Just get these hours. It is about 3:13 a.m. now. Almost home. Wrapped up poker at the casino about 35 minutes ago. Got into the game for $500. Never changed tables, changed seats once. Not a big action table, really low stress. I think my heartbeat was only racing one time. Anyway, in for 500, out for 1146. So up 646 today. I think I may play tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. I got family Christmas. Well, it is exactly 9 a.m. Monday, December 4th, I believe. It's about that time. So the games, especially on Mondays, don't usually get started till after 10:30, but it never hurts to be a little bit early. And I'll probably to the star we go. All right, 10:20 a.m. About time to get started. Oh no, the sun's about down. It's windier than crap out here. Look at that. In for 300, out for 751. Can't complain about that. Could have won a little more, but took me about a hand too late to realize that dude was a complete calling station, and I decided to double barrel a gutter and a flush draw, and he called me no problem with second pair. No biggie. Well, it is 7:30 p.m. right now. I am just about a mile outside of the casino here in Mulvane, Kansas. Just about a mile away from the Kansas Star. Coming in for the evening session. Was putting together part one of the vlog from last Thursday. last night, and that's pretty dang time consuming, so I ended up staying up too late. Did the day sleep when Max was at school today, so the sleep schedule is screwed again. But we're gonna head on in there and looking to play around 6 hours. Let's get a winner. And as is the case with, I imagine, most casinos, these midweek evening games, in my opinion, are the worst for action that you can find here and probably anywhere. Games are littered with tryhards, but sometimes you can get lucky and run into a good game. Not to say the games aren't still beatable, but that said, let's go get them. Okay, from the lobby of the Hampton Inn, Mulvane, Kansas, adjacent and connected to the Kansas Star Casino. A couple hands to go over. First hand, Hero has been pretty card dead, especially after changing tables to a loose, gambly type table. We are in the cutoff with King Queen of Hearts. There are 2 limps to us. We make it $18. The small blind, who had previously announced that it was his last hand of the day, flat calls, and one of the limpers in early position calls as well. The flop is Queen 9-6, a spade and 2 diamonds. The 9 and 6 are diamonds. Checks to us. We bet out $35, and the small blind re-raises, the check raise to $100. The early position limper folds, and I feel like now we're either in shove or fold mode. We think about it, deliberate it. It's a pretty wet board, but the problem here is I hadn't paid enough attention to this player previously to, really decipher whether or not he is capable of bluffing here. In the end, I did end up shoving. He tank called. The board runs out with 2 low diamonds, and he shows 1 diamond, and then eventually rolls over his other card because you gotta show 2 to win, and it is the ace of spades. So we had ace of spades, ace of diamond, and his hand is good. Biggest mistake on that hand, in my opinion, was just that I didn't pay enough attention to that guy as the game was going on. A bit later, we have switched tables. After our original table broke, we went back to the other table. We are on the button with ace jack of clubs. Several limps to us. We pump it to 20. The small blind min raises, or the small blind actually doesn't min raise. He raises it to $41. It folds back around to us. We're never laying our hand down for this price, so we go ahead and make the call. Around 80 bucks in the pot for a flop of 10 of clubs, 7 of clubs, 4 of spades. The small blind checks to us. I feel like at this point I want to commit myself here, so I bet $100. He shoves all in for 95 more. And of course I snap him off. The board run out bricks. The river is a jack. And he shows us pocket aces. A few hands later, we are in middle position with Queen Jack of spades. There is a button straddle. Folds to the big blind, who makes it $16 to go. There are a few players, and sometimes I would 3-bet here, but there are a few players I wouldn't mind keeping in the hand, because if I flop big, I can get paid off. So I go ahead and flat the $16. A late position player calls, as does the button straddler, so 4 ways to a flop. Flop is Queen of diamonds, 10 of diamonds, 9 of spades. The initial raiser, the big blind, leads out for $45. Debating raising and calling here. I mean, we smashed this flop, but again, one of the callers is a player you really want to keep in the hand, so we go ahead and call the bet. The late position player folds, and the button makes the call as well. So now the pot's getting pretty big, and the turn is an offsuit deuce, the deuce of clubs. The big blind leads out for his $110. And this time it's a weird situation because I don't feel like just calling here is going to do us much good. I mean, a lot of rivers make us, but a lot of rivers break us. So I go ahead and shove all in. The button deliberates, shows his neighbor his hand. He folds, and the big blind snap calls. So we're not loving the snap call. The river is an offsuit 10, which pairs the board. The big blind says you're good. I show my hand, and he shows me 8-6, so a flush draw and a double gutter on the flop. The button said he folded at 9 deuce offsuit on the turn. Interesting. Weird how the bet turned out to be a value bet against the guy you want to value bet, and then bluffing out a better hand at the same time. But we'll take it. And last interesting hand of the day, we are in late position with ace-3 of hearts. It's a straddled pot. I believe it's a under the gun straddled pot. There are a limp or two to us. We bump it up to $25. Folds around to the button, who makes the call, and the under the gun straddler, the player who had 9 deuce offsuit in the hand before, makes the call as well. So $75 to a flop of 10 king jack rainbow with 1 heart. The straddler leads out for $40 here. We don't feel like we can go anywhere for this price, and there could be lots of money to be made on down the line, so we go ahead and make the call. The button calls as well. The turn is a great one. Not the best one, but a great one. It is the queen of diamonds, bringing a backdoor flush draw. And this time, the straddler leads out for $100. We deliberate flatting or raising here. We do have the opportunity to run into a free roll situation, which we were hoping for ourselves to get. But we can also deny equity to and charge sets that may be trying to draw to boats, and just regular flush draws. We choose to flat call. The button calls as well, and the river is a brick, I believe a 7 of clubs. The big blind now goes all in for about $110, $115. We flat call, hoping to keep a third player in, and the button goes into the tank. He tanks for a long time. Eventually says he has a 9. He had 8, 9 of diamonds, so he had a heck of a lot of outs, proving the danger of the turn play. And he eventually makes the call. The straddler also has a straight from the 9, so 9, 10, jack, queen, king. And I scoop what turns out to be a very large pot.
Pocket yourself into
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20.
It is just after 2, and we are headed back home. Got into the game for $500 after that hand where I had the top pair good kicker. In the game for $500, got here, got started playing, had to wait a bit. I would say maybe 8:39, I don't know for sure. I'll flash it up there. Cashed out for $13.31, so profit of $8.31 tonight. Kind of ticked about the stacking off with the single pair. And some interesting hands though, otherwise as well. But it's nice to turn things around here and go on a little streak after a pretty disheartening week at the end of November. I didn't really go into detail on it, but there was one night where I got into the Hold'em game for 1,200. Was down 900 at one point in Hold'em, grounded back up to about negative 637, and then made the decision to play 510 PLO mix and lost 1455 in that game. And then a few days later, there was a 1-3 Hold'em game that turned to 2-5, which are usually good. When it turns from 1-3 to 2-5, it's usually a great game. But I lost 1,500 in that game as well, after losing about 400 or so in 1-3 at a different table. So 2 huge losses that really just killed my month of November. But it is freezing out here, guys. I'll see you around the bend.